Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of The Wedding Singer, the 1998 Adam Sandler classic comedy that I think is fan-freaking-tastic. It has everything you could possibly want out of comedy, in my personal view. I mean, there's laughs, there's cries, there's depression, there's elation, there's emotional swells, there's, you know, it just has it all. And it's, I mean, there's so many things about this movie that I absolutely love. And this movie is anchored by Adam Sandler's performance. And there are very few times where I'd say I love a movie because it was anchored by Adam Sandler, but this is absolutely one of them. I think his character is so relatable in this, and this was before he, you know, was all into the stupid accents and stupidity and really, you know, over the top characters that this is a real human being, and you can feel it. I mean, at the very beginning, you're introduced to him as the wedding singer, and he's this guy that everybody in the room is reacting to, and he performs, and he gets everybody involved, and there's people there that, you know, are not wanting to have a good time, and he pulls it out of them because he has this natural charisma, and you can really feel that from him, and I think he does that great. And then something happens to him that is freaking terrible, and all of a sudden he is this rage machine that's screaming and angry at every turn. And yes, there are moments where it almost feels like he's overdoing it and it becomes almost cartoonish, but it totally works because I feel like somebody in that situation would possibly be acting like that. So his performance of that emotion totally works. And then to see him hit that point where all of a sudden he goes from being angry to being just sad and devastated and having a hard time coping with this change in his life that he was not anticipating whatsoever. I mean, all that stuff I felt like completely felt honest and real. And then he meets a woman that he really comes to care about, and there's this really innate chemistry between the two of them, and they have this back and forth, this repartee that just works. And all of a sudden you see that guy from the beginning that everybody reacted to and wanted to be around, and he's coming back, and because of that there's this arc of his character that I think absolutely works. And I think it wouldn't have been nearly as effective if you didn't have someone like Drew Barrymore playing his romantic interest in this film, and I think she's 100% as integral to this film as Adam Sandler, because if she wasn't nearly as lovable as she is, you would not have the whole story work nearly as well. I absolutely love her character. She seems like somebody that you would die to be around, and she feels real too. You know, she's not all sunshine and lollipops and rainbows and everything. You know, she has some real emotions. There's scenes where, you know, she's upset and angry and deservedly so, and she doesn't necessarily handle those moments as well as she possibly could have, because she is a real person. I just love the way they handled that character and the way Drew Barrymore performed it. I mean, she just knocked it right out of the park. It makes this movie completely work, and I just loved seeing them together. And then this movie is absolutely highlighted by a number of amazing performances by supporting characters, like Alexis Arquette plays one of the backup singers for Adam Sandler's band, and I just love that performance. He's just so fascinating, and she's just so cool to see, and when Alexis is singing, it's fantastic, and there's some really funny moments where people are kind of put off by the look of Alexis at the time, because, you know, obviously there wasn't as much acceptance of transgender people necessarily at that time, and I'm not even 100% sure that's what you would call what Alexis is in this movie, but definitely very effeminate or what have you, and there's people that didn't know how to take a character like that. But the performance of Alexis, that why the character works so well, is because there is a fearlessness to the performance and the role that she's there and she's performing, and even though there is some backlash and you could see a moment of hesitation, she just keeps going and totally makes the character work and makes you feel bad for Alexis, and at the same time get a little bit of a laugh out of the moment too. I think it absolutely works, and I don't know that there's anybody else who could have performed it nearly as well as Alexis did in this movie. So kudos. And Christine Taylor is in this, and it's really funny to see her, because she's kind of like the, you know, the let's get physical, dressed up like the Olivia Newton-John, and it is really the character that a lot of the 80s stuff is really put upon. Like, she is an 80s stereotype and archetype and entertaining, but she also is an emotional character as well, and she's there for Drew Barrymore's character, and totally makes the film work in that regard, and is really cool. And then to see the Drew Barrymore's romantic interest at the beginning of this film, the dude that she's with, I think the guy who plays him is just so infinitely hateable, and it's really, really important to the film that you are rooting against him from the moment you meet him, and you absolutely are, because he just comes off like a total dick, and as the film progresses, it just gets worse and worse, and you know, you gotta feel a little bit bad for that actor, because he's a little bit too good at being a dick, and I've seen him in other roles, like he was in some episodes of ER, where guess what, he was a total dick, and I don't know how he must feel about being able to perform those roles so well, but he can do it, so kudos to him. And Steve Buscemi has a cameo in this that I think is fantastic, where he's the worst best man possible. He goes up and gives the most cringe-inducing speech that is just absolutely terrible, but so fun and compelling to watch, because you know it's not real, but you're witnessing it, and there's so much realism to his performance, and it feels like it's something you could absolutely see at a bad wedding, and it's just so cool to see. And then of course, I mean, the soundtrack of this movie is fantastic. I'm a big fan of the 80s tunes, and this is just chock filled with so many memorable tracks that I absolutely love, and so that adds so much to this film as well. Across the board, I mean, there's really actually nothing I can think of about this movie that I don't like. I mean, you have the rapping grandma, you have the whole, I mean, so much of it is just absolutely so much fun, and the meatballs and the whole thing, just I love this movie. So those are my thoughts on The Wedding Singer. Let me know in the comment section below what you think, if you like it as much as I do, if you consider it Sandler's best, you think something else deserves that accolade, whatever. Other than that, please hit that like button, hit that share button. It makes it much more likely that other people will come check out this video and let me know what they think. And if you haven't done it yet, please hit subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you can find out when I put out new videos, and come and let me know your thoughts. And please, please, please have yourself a good day.